Chapter 7, Theta brainwaves and GABA. So GABA is that neurotransmitter. Not going to talk about that. That's in the definitions if you want to look at it. Yeah, it's just produced in the limbic system and all those different things. But the theta brainwaves, that's where it really got interesting to me. And I know she even talks about the prefrontal cortex is how we're going to be able to use the mind to train the brain. So this is why I say this book is worth reading quite a few times, just to understand this, because the prefrontal cortex, remember, is that consciousness where we do our thoughts and our actions, where beta brain waves are there, and we're able to get down all the way into the reptilian brain, which is that automatic deepest part of our brain, and begin to steer that and reshape through neuroplasticity who we are. The theta brain waves are found more in the limbic system, and they are, as you can think about, alpha slower, theta's really slow. Theta's really starting to get slow. And through meditation, it seems as if that's actually where we get to really assess who we are at our core. So those patterns that have been created before 3 years old, those patterns that have been created, we're going to actually go down deep and begin to figure some of those things out, figure out who we are. She even talks about just in space, being able to recognize, okay, training the mind to be quiet, to say, where am I at right now? What do I feel in my gut? What do I feel here? What do I feel there? And she provides many, many different meditation exercises that will help you to know who you are. So if you know who you are, then of course you can then begin to reshape that and retrain that deep, deep, deep embedded automatic part of who you are. So, but that is a very, 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 very low state. It's almost a wakeful where you're sleeping almost. And sometimes it's light sleep, but it's when you're sleeping and you wake up and you have that, you're just like, man, I'm thinking, I'm just thinking hard. That's where you're at. You're in that theta brain, state of mind. She says if you have too high and too little of theta, both result in you being too emotional. Like you might be too emotional, you might be attached to people, you might not be able to assess very well. And so, you know, I've seen that. I've seen that people that are just real low key and real slow, that's a good thing, but they don't really have that control of that theta. And so they just become extremely emotional in everything that they do. So yeah, it was a really interesting chapter, chapter 7. Talking about theta brain waves. I thought it was the most applicable when it comes to her ideas of meditation. It seems like that's the one we really want to get to. But the other ones, you know, are almost trying to slow your brain up because the beta brain waves are so fast. You're trying to almost slow it down, take control of it. Alpha's somewhat similar. And then this one's where you really get down in what we would always think of meditation. For example, I believe it's in the alpha or the beta. Some of the meditation is like going on a walk and meditating. So it's just that type of meditation. Theta's that more monkish, sit in your chair and breathe, mindfulness meditation. So very interesting stuff.